Hello and welcome to the Tarkus Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're playing the game Meet Your Maker, and we're going to be going in and viewing the two loop bases that I have created. This one is about to go into Prestige 2. It only has 113 left. I only got 4 raiders in there, and that's about par for the course. That's usually what I get when the thing is only in Prestige 1. And then I've got Vineyard here, which is also Prestige 1. Just started it. I had 3 unique raiders since I put it up. Only one person that did this base understood what it was. And we can look at the board after we look at these bases. So let's just look at this one real quick. Okay, so right here, I just tell the person to run loop. If they understand what it means, what they do is they just run, they just run straight through, destroy all the traps, and then stand right here for a second, and then go back in and clean it up. Now, what I've done here is I've done the entire floor with bomb ejectors. So if the person runs the seam in the center, they're gonna do both these on both sides. So there's a seam right here. Yeah, so if I run the seam, both sides will initiate and both sides will destroy everything in this room. And I've added some warmongers in here, and this has been doing well for folks. It's just they don't realize what they really have here. Most of them run it, they go up, get the Genmat, and they leave, not realizing that they should at least die a couple times and rerun it a few times. That's the whole point of the loop. But, that's what they wanted to do, and they did it, and they got some free loot from me. All the tombs are marked on this map, so if you follow the white line, I've decorated all the tombs real nicely. So the tomb is down there in the floor. I guess what I could do is just get rid of this block altogether. Yeah, I'll just get rid of that block altogether, so they don't think I'm trying to trick them or something. So they can run into that tomb. And then we've got this tomb over here that's I've decorated. There's nothing in the ceiling, no traps. They just come and get the tombs. I think this one only has 2 tombs. I just can't find the third one if it does. I've looked and looked, and there's only so much time. I'm hoping that maybe one of the playthroughs I'll have a dedicated raider find it for me. But at this point, I don't know where it is, so I don't know where to mark it. So, okay, so that's that loop base. So let's just go and exit this. All right, go in here. And then we'll go to the second one. This is the Vineyard base. Okay. All right. So this one also says run loop. I hadn't put the Tarkus Zone fascia on this like I normally do, only because these aren't really traditional outposts. So I'm only going to do that with traditional outposts that people are going to run. These are just gimmies. These are like you won the lottery. So here's another tomb here that I've boxed in. And then the other one, the second one, was way up here. It's tucked on this side. Look at that, way up here as part of the bedrock. Now I don't know where the third one is on this one. I've looked pretty much everywhere. I don't know if there's a third one, but I can't find it. So those are the 2 that I've marked for people so that they can get to the tombs. And then this one here is I even wrote on here to run, because the one person that got what the whole base was about ended up not running it. He just destroyed all the traps. He would manually destroy all the traps and then die. And then he would manually destroy all the traps. So I put this here on the front end here just to tell them, you poor bastard, just run the seam, run the middle seam. And you just run it, you just run the seam, and this is the safe spot. then you die and you run the seam again. This poor guy, and I know he knew the concept of the base because he never finished it. He ended up leaving after 5 attempts, like you're supposed to, so you don't get diminishing returns. And that was that. So let's look at the board real quick. Okay. And we're going to look at Vineyard. Okay, so this Vineyard where we just at, the person 0 deaths and got the Genmat. So they had no idea what they had. In front, they had no idea that they had a cash cow standing at their feet. Same thing with here. 0 deaths, got the Genmat. So they didn't realize the potential of just milking that base for all it was worth. They basically went in and left. And this is the person who I'm talking about. They only ran it once, and the rest of the time they decided they want to destroy each trap manually. And I don't know why, but they know what they have because they didn't finish it. They said to themselves, oh, gee, I can come back here anytime and collect the loot by just running or doing what I was doing. So I'm hoping that this person starts to figure out that if you just run that seam, you get the base done in like 8 seconds instead of like the 2 minutes it was taking them to because they were using the gun. So every shooting, it was like painstaking watching the video. It was like, just run it. Just run it. So that's why I put that big run there. And then the rest of the board is my traditional bases that have been getting some good activity. But really, it was the loot bases that I wanted to really point out that I have up. I've got 2 of them up now. They're freebies for people to take advantage of. As you can see, I've got 14,000 yellow tokens. So I'm not short of tokens, so I can give the pot of gold bases away. I mean, because that's the way I look at it is they're little honey pots. They're if you run them, you'll get some really fast cash, especially the yellow tokens. And you just keep them in your lobby. So anytime you're short or you just need a few to get by, you just run a couple targets of loop bases or outposts. All right, well, thank you for joining me, and this has been the Tarkus Zone.